Hi everyone, my name is Vali Sebastri, and today I'm going to be talking about CyclOps, a unified framework we've been working on at the Vector Institute for data extraction, model evaluation, and monitoring for clinical use cases. Now, a fundamental hurdle in the deployment of machine learning models for healthcare is building an integrated ML system that's capable of being continuously operated and maintained throughout production. Clinical data extraction is particularly convoluted due to a lack of standardization in electronic health record data across hospitals. Additionally, rigorous evaluation of ML models for dataset shift is critical for identifying model degradation and informing clinical end users. Now, Cyclops is a MLOps framework for healthcare that provides APIs in Python aimed at enabling healthcare oriented ML research and facilitating the rigorous evaluation of clinical ML models towards deployment. There are three main components to the Cyclops architecture, and our first release will be focused on the first two components, which include an orchestrated data pipeline and an automated ML system development and operation pipeline. The data pipeline begins with a unified API to query EHR data. In our first release, we focus on two databases, the General Medicine Inpatient Initiative, or Gemini, and Mimic 4. Our processor API uses flexible and composable functions for imputation, aggregation, curation, and standardization to get patient profiles to be used for model development. In our first use case, we developed a model to predict whether patients' health will deteriorate and result in mortality within the next 2 weeks, every 6 hours of a patient's stay within the general internal medicine clinics. We trained an LSTM model on data from patients admitted to the general internal medicine clinics across hospitals in Ontario prior to COVID 19, and our model achieved an AUROC of 0.79 and an AUPRC of 0.68 on a held out test set. Now, to evaluate if our model drifts during COVID, we did a simulated deployment monitoring setup where we used a window length of 30 days, and every day we evaluated drift between the last 30 days and data drawn from the same distribution that the model was trained on. Our drift tests were performed using two sample testing of kernel mean embeddings conditioned on the model's predictions. So, in our case, conditioned on the probabilities from our LSTM model trained on pre COVID data to predict mortality within the next 2 weeks. Displayed at the top are the drift metrics, the p values and distance, and at the bottom are performance metrics, the AUROC and AUPRC, and all across time from the start of 2019 to early August 2020. Now, the vertical dotted line here is when Toronto actually entered a province wide lockdown due to the pandemic. And we actually see at that time that there is a detection of drift that results in varying model performance. Now, moving forward, we aim to build on this and work towards a complete deployment pipeline, which allows for prospective monitoring, automated triggering, and retraining. Thank you for listening, and we hope you found this informative.